So guys, it's nice to have you all here. We know that it's competitive, but still you people are here. So let me give you a quick introduction about Mr. Sanjay Lall. He's an entrepreneur with 3 decades of experience, an author, and also a heritage property distributor and developer. For close to 20 years, he lived in Auckland, New Zealand, where he ran a successful clothing, travel, and IT consulting company. We look forward to enrich ourselves from this talk on entrepreneurship and what it takes to succeed outside the classroom. So I would like to invite Mr. Sanjay Lall and start this event.
It's great to be here in British Learning. The first time here. I've been involved 10 years, but the first time coming to this rather large and beautiful campus. Good to be here. Thank you, Brother. Thank you, Brother. Great of you. The subject I've chosen for this, engaging subject I've chosen for this discussion today is how to succeed in life in 90 minutes. 90 minutes is because my duration of talk is 90 minutes. And I'm convinced that if you pay attention to what I'm going to say today, it should have an impact on your mind and on the way you think. And if you take that step forward into convert that thought into some kind of action and if you embrace it, I am convinced that it should have a positive impact in your life going forward. Success is a mindset. I'm going to begin with that. And it varies to different people. People will tell you different things. My own version is success has only 3 parameters. It starts with a thought. It's in the mind. There's a desire. And there's a commitment to execute that desire. Let me repeat. It starts with a thought. It progresses into desire. And it progresses into a commitment to execute. Most people collapse in the execution part because they're not willing or they're not able for various reasons or just not they don't have the gumption or the guts to continue down the hard part. So that's where it collapses. Now, strangely enough, success is not determined on how intelligent you are. It is not determined on what marks you scored, on what grades you got in school, in college. It doesn't matter. What matters is your mindset and how proactively you put that into action. Harvard University, no less than Harvard University, had done a study on the alumni of people who passed out, and they did a progression chart of where they arrived in life. Later, 10 years later, 20 years later. And it was found that A grade students ended up working typically for B grade students in companies owned by C grade students. I mean, it's not a laughing matter, it is a pure factual content I'm talking about. So, how did that happen? And if you're talking about grades, I was very much a C grade student. It's not that fortunately, like Bill Gates, not that I didn't walk out. I finished, but I finished in secret. And I ended up with a fair amount of cycle companies, etc. And it all came down to a mindset. Now, very interestingly, I have to tell you a little story. When I was about 10 years old, my father was in the Indian Army. And that was in 1965. There was in war with India and Pakistan. And he was very grievously injured. He was in the armored corps tanks. He got blown up. And he was very grievously injured. I mean, he survived the war, survived a few months. And I think it was 6 months later, in month of March, the following year, 1966, he passed away. When that happened, my things began to change because there was a lot of money problems and I didn't know what to do, etc., etc. And my sisters and I, the 2 sisters and me, we were bundled up into boarding school in Sanaa, Kasoli, North India. So we arrived in this from a very protective background, arrived in a boarding school, which was a regimental boarding school. It was very strict. It was like almost like an army camp, concentration camp. And coming from Delhi in a very, that's in a protective environment, we landed on this boarding school and it was very, very severe. I mean, the punishments were very physical. There was we would study in the morning till about 2 o'clock, and from 2 till 5, 5 and 6 was playtime, and from 6 to 8 was prep, and then it was meals, and then go to bed. But the problem was that the physical part overwhelmed me totally. I mean, there was you were pushed around, you were beaten, and on top of that there was bullying. And studies were never, for, I don't know, those years, 1960s, 70s, 80s in India, at least in the boarding school, the studies were not taken that seriously. I mean, you got as long as you passed, third division, second division, first division to wonderful. So, in the situation where I was getting, almost trashed every day, it was a question of how do you get the hell out of this situation. First class, I was joined first class, I think class 6. So 6, 7, 8 was pretty much torture. Then it became better. However, the studies were not inconsequential, I didn't study. And we just emerged out of there, and I was happy to get out. Having passed successfully. The thing was that in spite of all that, the only takeaway that I got was one of discipline, which in my later life I have to say stood me in very good stead. Because in whatever you do, whether it is in India, whether it is abroad, in whatever you do, business or personal life, I always feel that you have to have a sense of discipline. It's like coming to meetings all the time. And many people show up late, go traffic kharab. That's not an option. You have to come on time. Otherwise, the things go wrong. If you go abroad and you're not on time, it's taken when in a rather due view. So, the discipline that I had, and if you are in a bad situation, and I've had lots of bad situations, especially when I went abroad, with a sense of discipline, you can come out. And that's what I'm talking is integral to success, to succeed, to get the desire to do something and to give yourself what you do, to have something. Discipline to me was, you could say, my mantra. It was, I kind of latched onto it. So that was one takeaway I took from school, which stood me in very, very good stead. Now, I have to say that most motivational speakers will tell you that in order to succeed, you need there's a certain characteristics people to have. A person has to have certain characteristics, there have to be certain parameters in place. And there are lots of celebrity speakers today, like Arnold Schwarzenegger is one. Everyone, there's so many of them. And they say, as a person, people in your age group, you have certain parameters. Those parameters are that you must have a vision of what you want to do in life. So, number one is vision. Number two, they say that you must know where you're coming from. And if you know where you're coming from, you can know where you would like to go. But if you do not know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going. The third is that you must believe in yourself. And the fourth is that you must have some kind of a passion. Because if you have a passion, you can follow that. That's what it says. Now, I have to tell you this, that in my own environment, when I finished, graduated from school in 1972, and then I joined Sanjiv Lall in 1973, around about 74, 75, I frankly did not know what I wanted to do. So all these four parameters, as far as I was concerned, were absolutely zero. I had no vision. I did not know what I wanted to do. I certainly did not know where I was coming from, and without that, I did not know where I was going. I did not believe in myself, and I had no passion. Now, of these four points, I'm going to take forward the third point, which is belief in yourself, because I think that's the most important going forward. Now, belief is what? Belief is all the muck that we put into our mind. Ever since we are small till we grow up, through our reformative years, through our parents, grandparents, schooling, postgrad, undergrad, grad, we are always taking information. The information is negative, positive. It is negative, positive. So there's always an offset of the negative and positive. What we can do and what we can't do. People are always telling us, oh, you can't go and run, you're a useless runner, or you can't do athletic, you're a useless sportsman. So when you put it to that field, you already have the negativity in your mind, no, I can't do that. If someone tells you, why don't you come and stand next to Sanjiv and talk? You say, I can't do that. Why can't you do it? Because someone has told you that you can't do it. So that's got into your mind. That's negativity. And sometimes when the negativity overtakes the positivity angle, then things begin to get rather bad. Because you can't do anything. Because you are negative. Negatives overtaken positive. And then sometimes you begin to believe that you are useless. And when that happens, then you get into depression, and once you get into that, then you can't pull it. As you know, most of the students, once they get there, if you even did an analysis of the students here in the last 10 years, where have they achieved in their life station vis-a-vis their grades, it will be quite a startling revelation. So, I honestly felt that with this business of belief in yourself, you can't, because someone tells you, go and do physics or go and do mathematics. I can't do it, you know, I'm shouting. So, what do you do? Now, negativity is a very, very important thing. Because negativity is one factor which is going to stay with you for the rest of your life, whether you like it or you don't like it. So, you have to get a control of it. And one way is to try and cut your negativity down, slowly but surely. Even if it is cutting it down by 1 percentage point every day, tiny, just a teeny bit. And you tell yourself that I need to cut my negativity down, I need to cut my negativity down. Cut it down. Stop talking about to yourself about all nonsensical things. Be on the positive, try and look at positive things. And slowly you will find, maybe 6 months later, the things are not that bad in your mind. They're getting better. And that's the trick. Just work on the positivity angle and cut your negativity down. Because that because the positivity is the thing, one thing that is going to propel you into doing whatever you will do, be it a job, or be it a business, be it an entrepreneur, or whatever. You are going to be a professional. So you must believe in that. Also, you have to begin to look at things a little differently. I would say my term here is being a little mindful, being a little more aware of your. It's like studying in a classroom. When you study, things get good. But when you go out and you start playing, you're not really aware and things can go wrong. So be a little more mindful, be a little more aware, be a little more observant. That's when the positivity angle starts to shine. And that is what is going to hold you in great stead, believe me, because that's something that I have always believed in, that something which has taken me where it would be. There's nothing else, it's all in the mind. Everything starts with a thought. Everything in this world that we are in today, this classroom, this little board, this camera, whatever you've got, everything started with a thought. Someone thought about it someday, whether it was 25 years ago, 30 years ago, that got converted into action. The camera, because it didn't exist 40 years ago, 30 years ago, someone thought about it. So everything starts with a thought. And so it's a very, very thought is a very, very powerful tool. Do not disregard it, do not take it light. And it's amazing what the thought can do. There are 6 words I'm going to give you. If you take those 6 words, you can do anything in life. You become what you think about. Let me repeat, you become what you think about. There's 6 words. If you carry on thinking about something, like I said, you want to make something, anything, you want to achieve anything in the world, it has to start with a thought. So you want to become what you think about. If you keep pushing that conflict, you keep pushing that yardstick further and further, that thought will then one day materialize into action. How you are going to do that is a different matter. Where you are going to get the money from is a different matter. But it has to start with thought. If there is no thought, there's no desire, there's no going to be no commitment. So it's very, very important you become what you think about. There's absolutely there's no two ways about it. The other thing that I've always done in my own personal life, which I would seriously suggest that you guys all do, is to take opportunities, to find opportunities that you're going to ride. An opportunity is one thing which is going to get you out of the hill. It's going to get you out of the dark spot. It's going to get you out of the negativity into the positivity. It is going to take you from A to B to C to D. It's going to make you fly. You have to take that opportunity. And opportunity is something that I've always taken. 420 years ago, William Shakespeare wrote in Ulysses, and I did Ulysses in Sana, and at that time I paid no heed to it. But he wrote 420 years ago that there comes a tide in the affairs of men when taken of the flood leads to fortune. Omitted, all the voyages abound in shallows and miseries. On such a sea, full sea we are afloat, we must take the current when it serves or lose all our ventures. Which means that if you take the current when it goes, it's going to take you there. If you don't, you're going to be left alone hanging there. And I think that's very true, certainly in my life. Richard Branson, the chairman of Virgin Group of Companies, has said that don't worry, because many people say that oh, I had this opportunity, I lost it, up to my and I've got no opportunities left in life. It's not the case. Opportunities are happening all the time. Richard Branson says that opportunity is like a bus. If you have missed one, don't worry about it. Wait for the other one. Other one will come 2 days later. Jump onto that. So there's always an opportunity. It depends how you view it, how you see it. Opportunity is always there. Sometimes you have to manufacture it. Sometimes if you can't find it. And I'm going to give you an example of that very soon. I was in 1984. I had come back from my first overseas assignment, which was in Iran. I'll talk about that later. But I'm talking about this opportunity now. And I was looking for his Highness the Maharaja of Jaipur in Delhi. My assignment was coming to an end. It was about late 94. And I get a call one day from his secretary saying that there was a billionaire guy called Dr. Keir Fron coming in from Saudi Arabia to have come for dinner to Jaipur, and his Highness was hosting him for a poolside dinner. So I said, who's this guy? I don't know. Now, those days there was no Google, there was nothing, so I also knew nothing. I knew that he was a billionaire, but beyond that, I did not know anything. But I thought to myself, I said, maybe I can latch on to it. Maybe he can give me a job. What kind of job? I have no idea. How do I get to meet this guy? I have no idea. I could not ask my boss. I said, can you introduce me to this guy? He said, what the hell are you doing? So I was very friendly to his younger brother. I used to call him Uncle Joey. We used to sit and drink together. He was much older than me, but he was a great guy. Bachelor, loved life. Had no problem in in joining me or asking me to come and have a drink with me. So I gave him a call. I said, listen, Uncle Joey, apparently this guy is coming from Saudi Arabia. He's very, very rich, I'm told. And you know anything about this guy? So he says, no, I don't know. Who's this guy? So I said, I'm told that he's the world's largest dealer in cement. I know that. क्या करता है क्या नहीं करता मैं बता दूँ. Can you introduce me to him? He says, how am I going to do that? But he says, do one thing. If there is a party, I will definitely be invited. And you come, and I'm a personal guest, and go meet him. I said, okay. So I arrived in Jaipur with my suit. And then stayed with Uncle Joey. The dinner was there the next night. He was invited. I went tagged along as a personal guest. My intention was to meet him and somehow persuade him that I am your man in India from America and I can. So I arrived at the party. We were slightly 15 minutes late. And as a result, there was a long line of people waiting to meet this guy. 25 people. I am the 26th. So I said, okay. Now, how am I going to introduce tell this guy that he must employ me in front of everyone? How am I going to do it? He can't do it. So anyway, I met his wife. She was, I think his second or third wife. She was French. He spoke beautiful French. We met him. I had a drink. I had dinner. It was evening like any other, but nothing happened. So I was slightly disheartened. I think चले गए जब कुछ हुआ नहीं. I came back to Delhi. 1 week later, I went to Singapore. My sister was living in Singapore. And I was wondering what to do. And I just thought about somehow getting into this guy's ambit remained in my mind. So I looked up the directory of his company in Riyadh, South India. I rang up the company, asked for his office. They connected me because he was old. They connected me to his secretary. So I asked her, what's your name? So she said, my name is Rosie. Wonderful. I said, Rosie, I just met your boss 1 week ago in His Highness Maharaja Jaipur's party. So that established my credentials immediately. And my name is Somsa calling from India. I would like to talk to Dr. Gilfra. So she says, what would you like to talk to him about? So I said, I'd like to talk to him on business. So she said, okay. She didn't ask me what business. I didn't know. Because at that point, I didn't know what business. So she said, but he's not here, he's traveling. He's in New York. I said, wonderful. Can I talk to him in New York? I'm in Singapore. So she thought this guy is an international guy. He was in Jaipur last week. Now he's in Singapore. Boss was in India. Now boss is in New York. So she said, fine. This is the hotel, Pierre, Veritas Hotel. Give him a call. He's a room number, whatever. So I gave a call. And his wife. So I said, I told her that, good morning in New York. And I said that if you recall, I met you in Jaipur last week. So she said, I think I remember you, but I'm not sure whether so many people. I said, no. So I said, I remember you, because I did. No. I only had one lady, and she was a very attractive looking lady, whereas they had about 25 guys on a straight line, wanted to meet them. So I can't say that she remembered me. And so she said, my husband is not here, but he'll be here in exactly 8 hours and I'll get him to call you. So I said, okay, 8 hours meant 4 a.m. in Singapore. Precisely at 4 a.m. on the dot. I was sitting by the phone, I woke up. Phone rings, I'm Dr. Gilfra speaking. Are you Sanjiv Lall? I said, yes. So he says, I think I remember you, but I'm not sure. But anyway, what can I do for you? So I told him, I said, Dr. Frank, I think I can make a lot of money for you. Now here I was, 30 years old. I did not know a damn thing about his business. I did not know a damn thing about the cement business. I knew nothing. And here I'm telling him that I can make a lot of money for you. So he says, really? How are you going to do that? So I said, well, by selling cement to Bangladesh. At that time, 1985, I knew that Bangladesh was importing a lot of cement. They were importing cement from Taiwan, Indonesia, and they were importing it in shiploads, in bag form. This guy, Farhan, I knew by now, had bulk ships here, and he had purchased ships from Sweden, these big oil tankers. So an oil tanker is, just like a mountain, big room. And what he had done was, when the oil tanker, he had put in a packing plant, cement packing plant. So he would get these bulk cement coming in powder form. He would pack it in cardboard cartons, park the ship on the shore side of a big pier, and directly offload it onto the quayside. And then you'd get these big trucks coming in which would carry these cement bags. They call them flatbed trucks. In India, that time there were no flatbed trucks to the destination. The problem was the ship was a huge ship, and the Bangladesh port was a shallow port. So meant that this large ship would have to anchor midstream, and they would have to discharge the bag of cement onto dhows, and from a dhow, the diagonal dhow will come to the shore. So he says, it's very interesting. So I said, well, this is it. So he says, do you ever travel to Europe? So I said, no, I go there all the time. I'm going to London day after tomorrow. So he said, why don't you come and meet me? In Paris. So I said, okay. So he said, I'll tell my secretary to fix up an appointment. 3 days later, Rosie tells me that the appointment is fixed for next Thursday. Will you be in Europe? And I said, yeah, I'll be hanging around somewhere. So she says, fine, next Thursday, 10 a.m., Champs-Élysées. Champs-Élysées is the big, huge avenue in Paris. If you've seen it on movies or if you've been there, and the palace is also there, called the Champs-Élysées Palace. So I was wondering what to do. So I took the cheapest airline called the Jordanian airline from Singapore to it's a long flight, Singapore to Bangkok, Bangkok to Amman and Jordan, Jordan to Paris. The cheapest I could get. And I arrived in Paris one day before. And I made sure that I took a taxi to Champs-Élysées to know how long it was going to take me, because I wanted to be on time. I didn't want to be even 1 minute late. And so I scouted around the complete area Wednesday. And the next day, I arrived for my appointment. I arrived in this building. It was in this building that they signed the American Treaty of Independence in 1776. It was signed in this goddamn building, which he had bought. This guy buys it. And he's in Champs-Élysées, so he's on one side, and the other side is there's a big square. They had this statue of Lobo, and the other side was the palace, where all even the current president lives there. Next to him was a very famous hotel called Rylofin, and the other side was a world famous restaurant called Maxine's. So I said, I seem to have arrived somewhere the other one. Wonderful. So I go in at 10 o'clock next morning. I've never seen doors so large. The door was about 25 feet from here. I mean, it was a huge door. I thought that was higher than any ceiling I've ever seen. And gold trims everywhere. It was a minute to that out of the museum. I said, where the hell are we at? And teacup came with gold trim, like only there was a gold spoon. And suddenly, the secretary said, Dr. K. Farrell is ready for you. So I walk in with a cup of coffee in my hand. I want to put it down. No, take it. So I take it. He's sitting there with those very beads, the beads in the mala, sort of. And he's doing that. He's sitting on a table overlooking the square. So I think the office was larger than this. Seriously, the office was larger than this. And I thought, I've never seen, so I told him, I've never seen an office as grand as this. I have to tell you that. He said, very nice of you to say, but I will have to say that my office is better than the president of France. So I said, I haven't seen that, but I think this looks pretty good. So he called his manager, the lady, Rubina, and he said, meet Sanjiv, he's coming from Singapore. I met him in Jaipur 2 weeks ago. So my credentials were resolved. I didn't need to market myself. Now it's a question of, can we get the Bangladesh business? What are you going to do? So I'm going to, I'll go and do some kind of research and I'll go there. You guys give me expense account. How much do you want? I said, I don't want. I give you my bills. So he said, okay, you send the bills to Saudi Arabia. You report to this lady, Rubina, in France. I went and stayed in Singapore, stationed myself in Singapore. I was almost 30 years old. We did the dream job. I mean, that's an opportunity which I would say I had manufactured. But you got to have the gumption, you got to have the ability to talk to someone and say that, hey, I can make a lot of money for you. So, it's something that worked wonderfully for me. And if you do that, be a little positive. I mean, you can't tell him that, oh, I don't know whether I'm going to get it, I don't know ye hoga, ke nahi hoga, then he'll say, okay, forget it. I'll send one of my managers from Paris or from Riyadh to look at it.
So if I may interrupt you, Dr. Lall, so were you able to make a lot of money for it?
My job was there for 6 months and I had to do a survey. The problem was that he had such large ships. I couldn't take them over the sandbar. Sandbar is something which determines the draft. And so I told him that I've got you a contract, but it would mean discharging midstream, as I was talking. We needed to employ something like 100,000. I needed to employ something like 500 trucks. It became a bit of a logistical nightmare. But I traveled. I went to Pakistan, I went to Sri Lanka, I went to Bangladesh 2 times, I went to Borneo, I went everywhere as his man. I mean, it was absolutely wonderful. A dream job. Jack Ma, have you ever heard of him? Alibaba. Now Jack Ma, it's quite wonderful. Jack Ma says that he was born in a very small part of China. He did not speak any English. He couldn't afford any English. His parents were very, very poor. He was born in a small village, no English. And but he was determined that he needed to do some business because he was not getting work anymore. Wherever he'd go and offer his CV or whatever he had at that stage, he was being rejected because he didn't study, it was only Chinese, and everywhere he went, he was rejected. He was even rejected by KFC. KFC had 11 CVs, they employed 10. If they rejected this guy, everywhere he was rejected. So what he did, there was some kind of social intervention by the government of China, and the city where he was living in became a bit of a tourist center. So suddenly there had a lot of tourists coming in, foreign tourists. So Jack Ma got the guide, and he started taking all the foreign tourists for a guide. And he told everyone, I won't charge you any money. As long as you teach me a little bit of English for 10 minutes. They said, what kind of guide are you? He said, oh, 10 minutes, teach me few words. He started learning English from there. Today, Jack Ma's net worth is 38 billion US dollars. He is, I think his market cap is about almost 400 million. Market cap of Apple is about 1.02 billion. 1 trillion, sorry. So, in terms of market cap, if you talk of Apple, Google, Microsoft. So these three, four companies are more than the economy of India. It's Jack Ma, about $400 million. He says that when he went to America on visit, he wanted to. The internet was very, very. It just started. He knew he wanted to get into that, and that's what he did. He applied to Harvard 11 times for his digital data. Today, Harvard goes out the red carpet to Jack Ma comes. He says that if you're trying to do something, today is going to be very hard. Today is very hard. Tomorrow is going to be even harder. But day after is going to be better. Because things always change. So you must remember that things always change. Things never remain constant. So if you hang in there long enough, things will either get worse or they'll get better. But normally there's a curve. They will get better. So no matter what the situation is, hang in there. Hang in there. Do not go away. I had finished my college in 1976. My exams were delayed, and my result only came out in 1977 in month of April or May in Calcutta. That time the Calcutta exams are every year delayed, if you remember. Maybe you're too young for that. So in 1977, I went to one of my family friends, and they told me, "What are you doing here?" So I said, "I'm doing nothing, waiting for my exams." Good for nothing. If I was you, I'd go to Iran. I've seen it on the map somewhere. No, you must go to Iran. I said, what am I going to do there? I have some friends, they'll straighten you out, do some hard work, make some money. यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो, useless fellow, just entering. So I said, okay, tell me something about. I talked to this friend of mine. So I said, what do you do? He said, we manufacture bicycles. This company called Sen Rally. We manufacture bicycles and we export them to Iran. And there, those guys market them. So he's an Indian guy, Sardar. He's my partner. So I said, you think I can get something from him? He said, yes, wonderful. The girls are very beautiful. I said, sure, that's a motivation. So, I went there 1 week later. He said, are you going to Iran? So I said, last week we were talking about it. I was not sure whether it was risky talking or whether it was. No, I'm very serious. So, I'm going there. In exactly 3 months from now, you come with me. So I said, Achha, now what do I do? So I went to my mother and I said, Mom, I need to go to Iran. So she said, are you nuts? So I said, no, I need to go to Iran. कुछ करना है मुझे ऐसा नहीं है she said I also don't have I said okay fine I think the cost of the ticket was only 8,000 rupees that time the BOAs British Overseas Aircraft Corporation ठीक है 48,000 rupees persuaded my uncle and aunt to take me to the Iranian ambassador's office embassy because that time there was nothing known as a visit visa to Iran either business or nothing at all. And so I got a entry visa for 1 month because I want to go and have a look and I'm very interested in architecture. I want to go and have a look at the mosque and but there Iran is beautiful mosque. You go to Shiraz, beautiful. So I should go and see that. So I said, okay, go. So I arrived in Iran. 1 month, 3 months later with this fellow. And he had said, I've sorted it all out. You're going to get every help. You're going to stay with this guy. You're going to go and sell bicycles in the desert. Coming from Calcutta, I said, selling bicycles in the desert, it became. It sounded quite weird, but also it sounded a little wacky. And something wacky that I would do because it was different. You got to be different. You got to do things differently. But if you join everyone, कुछ नहीं बनेगा. You got to stand out. So here I arrived. I had $300 in my pocket. That's what I had. This guy arrives in a Mercedes in Sardar, picks me up and says, so, yeah, come to meet you. So I thought I'm going to be taken to his house. He takes me to a hotel. He says, no, you stay here for 3 days, 1 week. And after 1 week, we'll sort you out. I said, 1 room night stay plus a khana, the first night dinner in a Korean restaurant, the only restaurant they had, cost me $35 US. That's a total $300, 85 is gone, how much is there? 215. I was shattered. I said, now the cycle, the desert, everything was smashed. There was no business at all. And I think the Sardar was hoping that when the other guy went, I would go back with him. So I checked into a youth hostel. The youth hostel had 6 beds in 1 room. It was like a railway carriage. 2 like that, and 2 this side. So I chose the top bunk on this side because the top bunk meant that no one could sit on my bed other than myself. So at least from that point it was clean. But it was like a railway carriage. It was steel. It was exactly the railways. But I checked into that. It was very cheap. So my $215 lasted me for a few days. Now I was wondering, now what do I do? Ticket was still valid. I had a return ticket. Should I go? Should I not go? And I didn't want to go because if I went back, everyone would start getting at me. My sister would say, I told you not to go. That person said, I told you not to go. And you come back like a clown with your tail between your legs. And that's something I didn't want to do. Because if you come back shattered, there's nothing worse than that. Do not get distribution. So I was saying, no, I can't do it. What the hell am I going to do? So I was booked to fly that evening at 6:30 in the evening. And the guy who came to pick me up took me out for lunch along with the other people. I just packed along. My passport, my luggage, but everything was packed. I ready to go at 6:30 in the evening back to hotel. I was having lunch and someone told me that you will see the Sardar gentleman there. He is the Maharaja of Patiala. So I said, goodness. Now I had heard of this guy. I had not known him, but I knew some of my relations, my uncle, and because he was also in the army. My father was in the army, so we had some kind of connect. So he was much younger. So I said, excuse me, and I went and said, may I talk to you? So he was talking to another 2 people, another Sardar and another person from Delhi. So he said, yes, what would you like to talk about? And I spoke. I said, sir, my name is so and I think some people I know you. So he said, who are they? So I mentioned their name. He said, no. I was very young. I was 1977, was 22. Not even 22. I was a few months short of my 22nd birthday. I said, no. So he said, what are you doing here? So I said, looking for a job. He said, what kind of job? I said, I don't know. So he said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, I don't know. I was brought here now looking for a job, any goddamn job. So he turns around to the Sardar next to him and says, "Can you get this gentleman a job?" So that chap says, "What can you do?" So I said, "What do you mean? You have to rephrase." He said, "Can you type?" I said, "No." "Can you send a telex?" I said, "No." She said, "What can you do?" I said, "I can drive a car." He said, "No, that's not, no. It's in you want to work in an office. You want to have some secretarial duties." "No." So, and here I was in Calcutta. I could have joined a tea company. I could have become a tea planter. I could have joined the merchant navy. But here I shunned all that. Now I arrived in Iran and I'm wondering whether I can become a goddamn telex operator. I said, "What's wrong with you?" I mean, you're telling me there's something, he got mad. But what to do? I had to survive. And I couldn't go back to India because I knew that everyone was going to blast me. Blitzkrieg. So Maharaja said, "Don't worry. Why don't you come and have a drink with me this evening?" At 7 o'clock. So I said, "My flight is going to leave at 6:30 and he's coming and have a drink." So now I decided, do I take the flight or do I have a drink? I decided to go and have a drink. I think that was the best decision in my life. I went and had a drink with him and I did not help. I remember he comes and he said, "Would you like a wine?" So I said, "Yes." I did not know what the wine was. He gave me a big wine in a big glass. Yeah, take it. But I was there to drink brown wine. And he said, "Listen, I've been employed by the Shah of Iran to convert their desert into a oasis. I have to make it all green like we made Punjab. But my contract is not been finalized. That might take 6-8 months. And if my contract is finalized, you can come and work in the project. But till that time, I'll tell this Sardar gentleman who was there to help you." I said, "Okay." And he told him, in front of me, he told him that this chap is going to come to your office, help him to see what he can do. Okay. He goes back to India. I went the next day to the Sardar's office. He refused to. I mean, he was not interested in meeting me. He had told the Sardar that yes, I'll meet. I talked to him because he was very friend. He was in business with the Hindu Jagat, if you have heard of it. The biggest chores, Hindu Jats. And they were very, very big in Iraq. 3 years later, they ran away to England. They took all the money with them. And these guys were related to the Shah in the business. So the Sardar is leading me on, and you can't do any secretarial service, you can't type, you can't even send a telex. So I'll see what kind of job I can get to. Second, you can't have a work permit. Without a work permit, I'm not going to get a job. So I said, "But you said you'd help me." No, come next week. This come next week business lasted for almost every day is come next week, 1 month. Finally, he's, I'm getting fed up. I said, "Listen, you keep telling me you're going to help me. Where's the helping given?" So I managed to get a job with an American shipping company called Sea. They were in containerized. Containers are big containers. They ship those. In 1977, that was a very new concept. I did not know anything about it. But I talked myself into it. And what I'm trying to tell you here is that everyone, wherever you go, people like to hear something. Everywhere I went for an interview, "Mr. Lall, do you have any prior experience?" "No." "Get out." Everyone wanted prior experience. Here I was standing in front of Sea. I had a suit on. I knew that the guys want to ask me, "Do you have prior experience?" I'm going to say, "Yes, I have prior experience." Because you have to tell people what they want to hear. So I give my resume. They said, "Yes, we're going to call you for an interview." Some guy comes, turned out to be an Indian. Other than now we're going to talk about prior experiences. So he says, "Do you have a prior experience, Mr. Lall?" I said, "Yes." He says, "In what?" I said, "Import export." He said, "What import export?" I said, "Why?" Because I was living in Calcutta those days and in jute. I was with friends who were in the jute industry, in wire industry. So I was bullshitting left, right, and center. But, Acha, you have prior experience. What's the name of the company? So I gave some name of the company for my friends in Canada. And he said, "Okay. But what are you doing in Iran?" I said, "I came looking for a job." So he said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yes, I came looking for a job. So can you help me?" So he said, "Work permit will be a problem." So I said, "If I get a work permit," I said, "Will you give me a job?" So he says, "Well, I don't know. You have to talk to your guys who employ you." They finally, I convinced them to employ me. But what I'm trying to say is that At the end of the day, it was my, round and round I persuaded them. But everyone you talk to will want to hear what they want to hear. If you tell them anything that they do not want to hear, in business also, you are out of the door. So that's a very, very important point to remember. You must, in any contract that you're negotiating, it is always what they want to hear. And as I said, things go bad, do not fall down. If you fall down, pick yourself up. Do not let it get into your mind. I mean, when I was in Iran, it was so bad, things were so bad. I had no money, I had no food, I couldn't eat. I mean, it was, for about 1 month, it was terrible. And I was wondering, have I gone totally bananas? Can I not go back to the cushy life I came from? But I stuck it out. And it worked. And as I said, it's all in the, I kept thinking about it. It's all in the mind. Nothing is impossible. The word impossible means I am possible. Impossible actually means I am possible. Remember that. Nothing is impossible. If you thought about it, it can be done. Now you have a bridge. The distance between thought and desire and getting it. That's the most important part. The commitment to be able to stagger through that. There's another thing, everything happens at its own pace. By that I mean, some people succeed early, some people succeed late, some people don't succeed at all. But in terms of progression, everything happens at its own time. No matter whatever you can do, the law of nature says that things will happen at its own time. If you look at flowers, some flowers bloom in the winter, some in the summer, some in heat, some in rain, and there's nothing you can change. If you try and change all that, it's not going to work. You can't take a cacti and put it into the rain. Cacti will bloom in the dead of summer, in the heat. So, and I have noticed that in life, if you succeed early, you tend to burn out early. That means people who have succeeded, who have become engineers, who become gurus in their profession, by the time they're 40, 45, 50, they're done with it. But if you certainly start blooming when you're about 40, 45, you will continue till about 70, 75. This guy, what's his name? Warren Buffett, basically made his money when he was in his 60s. His money that he has major investments. Today is 80 plus, and he's still chugging along. But other people, Bill Gates retired early. Because Bill Gates struck it very early. So by the time he was 40, he was burned on both sides. So if you do not hit the success road immediately, don't let it bother you. As long as you are chipping away, it will help. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it demoralize you. Keep chipping away. There's one thing that talking of authority. Authority is a choice, and you must recognize that. Authority, leadership is a choice. It's not an authority. By that I mean that we are all inherent leaders. Some people have more leadership potential and following than others. But there are lots of leaders who have authority but no followers, because they've been appointed as a manager or been appointed as the head of a department. There are other people who are low, who have a lot of followers but have no authority. So remember this when you go in life. Leadership is a choice, it is not an authority. To be a leader, you must be able to inspire. That's the most important thing in today's world. The information age is over. It is dead and buried. Now we are in what is known as the green society. The dream society is basically the end of the information age and the commencement of the imagination. So whatever is in your imagination, you can do. So if you want to get into a leadership role, you will have a choice in life. If you are able to communicate, the most important element today in today's world is to communicate. Gone are the days when you could not speak English and you communicate through whatever language you have. You must be able to communicate. The thought, expression, and communication are the three most powerful tools. Communication and thought is so powerful. Do not fail that. And you got it for free. Each and one of you has it. It's how you exercise it. The ability to communicate is the most important tool you have in the world today. And I'm giving it to you free. But you must be able to exercise it. We are in the dream society. It's imagination. And imagination, there's no restriction. There's nothing you cannot do. As long as you think about it. If you think about it, you will get there. So it's amazing that I'm saying these things, and I hope you are listening to me. But people like super athletes, for instance. A super athlete, his mind is thinking all the time. Let's take a sprinter or take a person doing skiing, the super fast skiing, or even a motor car racing, F1 drivers. These guys have the most advanced brains. And I'll tell you why. Because when you're driving or coming straight down at 200 kilometers an hour or whatever it is, you've got a split second. In that split second, you want to decide whether you want to go left or you want to go right. If you go left, it's right. If you go right, you're out of the race. And in that split second, you've got to do mathematical calculation of what you're going to do. You can't stop and send someone at the So the mathematician calculations in the mind keep the mind active. The super athletes are by far the most active minds, and they don't get anything out of it. You cannot relax. It's like this guy, the sprinter, what's his name, from Jamaica. He has no holidays. It's not that I can win a sprint and then and go and have a tandoori burgi or go and have a beer. No. You are working 365 days of the year, whether you want to race or not. It is the journey which is most important. You got to work. You got to work at the journey. Forget the destination. It is practice, 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 practice. Whatever we are doing, if we are doing a presentation, it's practice, 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 practice. Forget the destination. If you practice long enough, you will get to the destination. But if you do not practice, there is no way that you're going to make the destination. You look at the Indian cricket team, we win one match and we think that we are the world's best. Then you go to New Zealand and you got thrashed. Or you go somewhere else, you got thrashed. Because there is no practice. But a person like Usain Bolt, he practices. Their relationship with practice is different. Their relationship that they take with practice, other people is different. Most people will say, "No, we will go 2 घंटे करने हैं, 3 घंटे करने हैं." But these guys will practice because they feel that it is their commitment to what they are doing. It is a journey. I believe in the journey. I have never believed in the delivery, because if you are in cricket parlance, if you hang along long enough in the cricket pitch, the runs will come. Similarly, if you ever get a job, when you do get a job, which you will, don't start haggling for money. Take whatever money you get, but do the job well. And if you do the job well, and if you do it with mindfulness and awareness and with intelligence, they will see you doing the job well. And that is going to get you excellent grades. Oprah Winfrey says she was Oprah Winfrey. Everyone thought that she can't be a anchor. She didn't do the job. Finally, she got it. Today, she's a billionaire in her own right. She says always go for excellence, do the right thing. And if you go for gold, always for gold, you will land up somewhere. Even if you're a waiter, Even if you're a waiter, if you all go to restaurants, if you see a smiling waiter, it lifts you up. If you see a sullen waiter, say, oh, why the hell is what have I done to the sullen waiter? But some people are amorous. He's only working 9 to 5. He's only working for he's working for the work perspective, for the money. But he's not working, he's not putting his heart into it, he's not putting his soul into it, and you can make out. So I'll give you a tip. If you walk into a restaurant and you find a sullen waiter who's come and serves you, give him a tip straight away, 20 rupees. Before you even eat the food, give him a tip of 20 rupees and see what happens. He says, yes, tip. So when he brings the food out or the whatever, the drinks, coffee, tea, you are the only table where he's going to come and smile at. Everyone else is going to be sullen. But with you, he'll be very nice. Why? Because he's got a tip. Another way of cutting out negativity is something called gratitude and attitude. By which I mean be thankful to the world for what you have. Like this is one aspect. One gives the waiter money beforehand. पहले देना तो है, whether you give it 20 rupees afterwards or before, might as well have a nice experience, have a nice meal. Otherwise, you tell the guy, "ये खाना कैसा है, खराब है." If that happens, I will possibly get a new dish also. Attitude is gratitude. Be thankful. You know, you might feel that you are in a bad situation. When I was in Iran, I was in a really shit situation. But you know, I have to say that when I was in Sanaa, I thought the food was bad. When I get to college in Calcutta, I thought the food is here even worse. When I get to Iran, I was in such a bad condition that you know, it never stops. And I'm sure there would have been people worse off than me. So you won't find someone who's worse off than you. And in India, it's not a problem. And outside your gate, you find someone who's worse off than you. One gives them a banana, one gives them a samosa, one gives them whatever. And see that guy smile. You know, a smile is infectious. If he takes off with your gratitude, you employ them. You take it to a heart. That gratitude is going to get you going. And that is going to cut off negativity. Always remember, you know, the downside of being ultra rich is there's always some sucker rich over here. And on the converse side, there's always someone poorer than you. There's always someone in a worse situation than you. So you lift them up. Lift them up so that their, you know, smile is going to reflect on you. And I can tell you this from personal experience, the more you help someone, both mentally as well as monetarily, you will come back to you in a circle. One fine day you will get it back. Because that is the law of nature. Nature says, whatever you, there's an opposite and equal reaction. That's a physics equation also. You will get it. You will get it in manifold. But you must take the first step and do it. Success is not a genetic phenomenon. Just because the dad is successful, I'm going to be successful. No, it doesn't work. Because the dad is successful, he might give you 1 crore rupees in the bank, he might give you some shareholding, but that's it. You're going to go through it. Success is a series of strategies which you implement, and if you implement them, you're going to be successful. If you implement all the series of strategies that I'm telling you now, you will be successful. Success is there. Luck plays a very important part. But once you start being aware of your environment, once you start looking at the opportunities, luck will shine. You will not get lucky. Luck will get you. Very important. The very important difference here. You will not get lucky. Luck will get you. And when that happens, that's the time when things are getting really interesting. Because you are observing things the way they should be observed, as per nature's way, as per gratitude, and as per your ability to recognize opportunities. Because if you do not see an opportunity, you are going to wave it goodbye. Jack Ma has said that Real opportunities are those opportunities which no one else sees. That's the real opportunity. Because everyone sees them. It's not an opportunity because everyone is on the 10%. But that opportunity no one else sees and you see it. Yes, you might have to hike all the way to Vasco or whatever, but if you do it, and people who take those opportunities are normally the people who succeed. It takes a lot of guts and gumption to walk the dark, lonely road. But the guys who do it are the guys who succeed. Steve Jobs, you all know what Steve Jobs is, has said, do not be trapped by dogma, which is the result of living other people's thinking. Do you know what I'm saying? For example, I mean, we come from a socio-economic background, we are Indians, where our parents tell us, "Arey Baba, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Why are you not doing this? Why are you doing this?" So, very often we end up doing a particular curriculum or a particular course just because our parents want us to do it. We don't want to do it. We go through life thinking, now I've done that job, now I've got married, I'm going to do that. But you end up living not your life, you're living someone else's life. Don't do that. Break that. Get away from it. Start leading your own life. Take ownership of your own dreams. As and when you get a dream, take ownership of that. Say, this is mine, I want to do it. Whatever your boundaries, each and every one of you has their own personal boundaries of what you can do and what you can't do. In terms of anything. Whether it is technical, commercial, mental, verbal, or writing, say you want to write something and you can't write. So slowly start practicing how you can go to write. So sooner or later, the writing is going to become better. Then you can start saying, I want to give myself a test. Every day I'm going to improve. I'm going to improve 5% every day, 10% every day. Then suddenly 1 week, one year later, you have the ability to write a novel. And then say, 1 year later, I will extend your boundaries slowly. So that it takes you to paths that you never really thought possible. And that only you can do. You can maybe sit with a friend and say, listen, what are my boundaries? Define them and start working on them. Create communication. You need to communicate. You need to have a thought process. You need to think intelligently. You need to be able to examine things the way they are, and so that you can get there and start furthering your boundaries. Very, very important. Because if you stick there, you're going to become static. There is a reason in the Indian Army why, I was just thinking about it when I was driving here. Why are most of the officers, 60% of the officers, stuck at colonel? 60% of the officers, maybe 70% of the officers get stuck at colonel. Everyone knows that. 30% maybe, but 20% make it beyond colonel to brigadier. Why? Are those guys there just for a job? In today's environment, I would say yes. They're not there because they like it. There's no passion. We're talking about passion, but we'll come down to that later. It's 9 to 5. So, person who's pushing anything 9 to 5 will be there, but just for names of like a attendance register. He's not going to be there to be counted. If he's there or not there, makes no difference. Similarly, in the army, 60% or maybe more people are colonels. It starts in the mind. If you push it, if you push the boundary, you can be a general. It's as simple as that, but you got to train it. But you can say, he's an idiot standing in front of me telling me I just need to train my mind and I'll be there. But the fact is, that is a possibility. I've given you so many examples. Do not let that bring you down. It is all, and I keep repeating, it starts in your mind. Such is the power of thought. As I said, let me repeat. If you can think it, you can do it. If you can think it, you can do it. If you can think it, you can do it. You got to just bridge the difference. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. There's no money. People think that you're a nutcase. But you will get there. Corporate America is hanging on all these guys who quit school. Michael Dell, Gary Ellison, God knows what, everyone, every man and uncle but they made it. And they all made it by their own guts, by their own hard work. It's not been an easy ride for anyone, but they all made it. Yes, for every person who hasn't made it, lots of people, per person who's made it, lots of people who haven't made it. But for those guys who haven't made it, you must also recognize that they quit. They quit halfway. Either the wife said, "Arey bhai, aa jao, 2000 की नौकरी तो कर लो, 2000 की नौकरी करेंगे." But at the end of the day, what have you done? I'm going to talk to you about something which could be interesting. I don't know how much you guys believe in this, but in this good old India that we are in, we have this thing called karma. You know what karma is, all of you? You all know? Karma? Destiny? Yes or no? Yes. I remember from childhood I've been told that it's your karma. If you've done something or you haven't done it, it's your karma. Hua to nahi. You got married, it's your destiny. Birth, death, marriage is all destiny. Job mila, nahi mila, karma. If you had a bad thing, a fallen ill, it's karma hai. In my own research, I was rather keen to find out whether karma came into my life or whether what I did made a difference. And I found that the four kinds of karmas, and I'm going to quote now Sadhguru. I don't want to quote myself because he is a more erudite and learned gentleman. So Sadhguru says that the four kinds of karmas: physical, mental, emotional, and energy. Energy drives all three karmas. That means your physical body, your mental intelligence, and your emotion. And these karmas are operating 24/7. They never stop. They are always working. Now, when I'll give you an example. So all these physical body, your mental, emotional, and energy. Four karmas. Four basic. Everyone has four basic karmas. Karma is basically equivalent to work or activity. So if you guys study hard and really hard, the result of your grades or your result of your grades that you get 3 months later or whenever they're declared will be your karma. You get it? That means if you do not study, the grade that you get is going to be negative. Result of your karma because you didn't study. Conversely, if you study hard, you will get good grades. It's because you are studying now, right? So what I'm trying to say is very simply, we all of us have three intrinsic divisions: past, present, future. Forget your past. Whatever has happened, the moment you come into the bits, you have started from there, take your karma from that point onwards, take that point on forward. Look at today. Just look at today. Work hard, study hard, look at today. If that is good, your results are going to be good. If your results are going to be good, you're going to get a job. If you do not work, you may not get good grades. If you do not get good grades, then something negative, there will be some negative results happening. If today is good, tomorrow is going to be good. So, I will say, and I keep saying this very, very simplistically everywhere I go, forget about your past. You cannot repair the past. If someone tells you bad karma hai, wo to chodo. Are we going to look from today onwards? Look at the present. If the present is good, tomorrow is going to be a wonderful day. If tomorrow is wonderful, the day after is going to be even better. So it's most important that if you keep this concept in mind, especially coming from our own environment, is going to do a wonderful thing. Because everyone says that whatever happens is because my karma, my destiny. Destiny, ladies and gentlemen, is in your hands. As I've just said, if today is wonderful, tomorrow will be wonderful. That is your destiny. So forget that. Forget the outcome. Throw away the negativity. Just keep the positive in your mind that whatever you are doing, it is in your hands. If you get a job, you are a waiter, someone comes and tells you, listen, I'm opening a restaurant in Dubai, would you like to be my waiter? And the guy says, no, I think he is losing an opportunity. And if you get an opportunity which is going to improve your life, and if you have to be married and it's going to improve the life of your family, but you do not take it because it's going to be hard, and you think it's going to be a bit, I have to work very hard, I'm going to go to South India, I'm going to go to Finland, I'm going to go to Norway, and I'm going to work very hard, it's going to be very, very cold, I think you are betraying yourself, because you have the opportunity to improve your life, and not only your life, but the life of your family and their generation from there on. So, if you get something, you should take it. So, when you say that I lost an opportunity, try to buy that. There will be other also coming out of it's like us. What do you call trust? It is often said that people say that you must hedge your bets, don't put all your eggs into one basket. But I can tell you this, that when I was in Iran, I had no basket, there were no eggs. I finally got a basket, I got some eggs, and I can tell you that I nourished it, I nurtured it, I looked after the damn thing very, very well, because that's what gave me very good results. So whatever you have, what I'm trying to say is, whatever you do well. Put everything into it, put your heart and soul into it, and it will flower, it will give you results. It may be hard, I keep saying, but it will work if you stick to the road. So if someone says, I have multiple options, forget it. Take the option that you have. And another thing, that if you're at a crossroads in life and you don't know what to do, should I go do this, do that? Go for what your gut tells you. Your gut is always correct. Go what your heart says. Go with the heart, not with the brain. With the brain sometimes gets confused. Go with the heart. Your heart started beating 20-25 days after you were conceived, you guys, all of you. Your brain came much later. So your heart is way ahead of your mind and body. Follow that. It will deliver results. In any case, we are in the imaginative age. So if your heart says yes, it is a yes. Colonel Sanders, I gave an example earlier, Kentucky Fried Chicken. He, during his career, he tried everything. Everything failed. He was rejected 1009 times, 1009 times. 1009 times he was rejected in his jobs, in his applications. Wherever he went, it failed. At the age of 65, he started this company, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it was super success. So he says that he only has two things, two principles in life. He says, do whatever you can and do the best you can. Do whatever you can and do the best you can. But you must deliver on those two things honestly. And I'm not, do the best you can, so it means going the extra mile, do the extra mile. It means delivering and working till midnight, the best you can, as much as you can. It's very, very important. And that will deliver. Christopher Reeves, the guy who did Superman series, you might have seen him when he was young. He died. He had a brain stroke, horse racing incident. Chris Reeves said that when you come out and succeed, it's another step forward in the realm of possibilities. He says the hero is an ordinary individual who finds the strength to persevere and endure in spite of overwhelming obstacles. no matter what the situation or circumstance, always choose hope. He eventually died, but this is what I've been trying to say all along, that possibility is infinite, hope is infinite. If you can join them, there will be convergence point. Robin Williams, you must have seen his movies. Robin Williams said that if things are really going tough and you need to cry, cry out. But after you cry, pick yourself up and move forward. And he says that believe that words and ideas can change the world, as I've been saying all along. Make your life spectacular. Reach for the stars. Do the impossible. You must do that. You must overreach. You must do more than you did yesterday. And tomorrow you must do more than you did today. I've always said, I used to say when I was in college, that reach for the moon, you might land on the earth. But if you're going to reach for the earth, you might get 2,000 there. Elvis Presley. You are, I all heard Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley, parents were very, very poor. So poor that they were living in a small hut. In a hut without electricity and running water. Can you imagine? His mother, when she was giving birth, didn't have money to go to hospital, didn't have money to ask for a midwife. She delivered on her own in a house without running water and electricity. And Elvis was the twin. His twin brother died in childbirth. And Elvis joined some normal school, and his mother wanted to give him a bicycle. She couldn't afford a bicycle. He wanted a bicycle. She couldn't afford it. So she comes and gives him a guitar. And he takes the guitar to school. And in school kids are quite mean. So they took the guitar and they cut the strings. And Elvis comes home with the strings all cut. And he's crying. And he's telling his mom that my guitar has got cut. And she's got no money to replace it. So they're both sitting there and crying. Not that Elvis can play the guitar. He did not know how to play the guitar. But that was just a present. And he cried his eyes out. The next day, he went back to school and he told all his classmates that my guitar has been broken. So the boys took one pity on him and they all contributed. First they cut his guitar, then they contribute and buy him a new guitar. So with this new guitar, he starts playing the guitar, he learns, self-teaches himself and starts singing. And in the school competition, he won the competition, singing. And he decided he flipped his hair back, threw his sideburns, and he went to Sun Records, which was the most prominent record company in America, and asked for an audition. Elvis had 3 auditions. He failed in all 3. In the 3rd audition, there happened to be one music producer who was hanging around. He called him and he said, "Listen, come and meet me." He took him to his office and said, "Why don't you sing a song? I'll pay for it." So he said, "Okay." He sang a song called The Heartbreak Hotel in the early 60s. It topped the charts. He made so much money just for one record that he went and told his mother that, "Mom, I can't have you sitting in this house." He went and bought a new home. Elvis went on to sell 1 billion albums. 1 billion albums. No singer ever of any time has sold more records in numbers. They had made money because Michael Jackson came many years later. This guy was singing in the 50s and 60s. Michael Jackson was 80s and 90s. So in terms of their revenue, Michael Jackson might have made more money. But in terms of sheer numbers, no, so, these are just examples of sheer grit and determination. We're talking of so many different kind of vocations and occupations, from Colonel Sanders to Elvis Presley, to Robin Williams, to Superman, Chris Reeves. It's amazing. And all these people just had one thing, application of mind, that I want to do it. And they all came from very, very, very poor and humble backgrounds. It's quite amazing. Steven Spielberg rejected 3 times from film school. 3 times. Today, Steven Spielberg is the biggest producer and director of all time. There's no one bigger than him. But you got to have the ability to stick it out. You got the ability that I can do it. Whether you believe in yourself or not. You don't need to believe in yourself. If you've got a particular job, if you've got a particular study, you know that you're weak in that subject. So if you know that you're weak in a particular subject, no point getting depressed that I can't do it. Just think about it. Just sit and study. Sit and study. Study the damn subject back to front. And if you get good marks, you'll cross over your negativity straight away. But if you think, I don't know mathematics, or I don't know economics, and I hate it, and I don't know this story and that, forget it. Don't let the mind confuse you. Just study. Your job is to be solid. That will get you over the hump. Basically, I don't know what you guys consider success to be, but success basically is just a fulfillment and culmination of your goals. Whatever your goals are. I want to get there in so much time, I want to make so much money. This success is just a culmination of your goal and your requirement. And once you achieve them, that is success for most people. You know, most people achieve 90 to 95% of the goals every day. Every day, all of us wake up. What do I need to do? I need to go and teach. I need to go to the classroom. I need to go to the supermarket. I need to send my son to school. I need to do this. I need to do that. 90 to 95% of all goals are achieved routinely every day. We fret about the balance 5 to 10% of the goals that we do not achieve. So set goals for yourself every day. Set goals for your weekly goals, monthly goals, annual goals. And try and start working towards that. Because when you set an annual goal, you put a marker that this is what I want to do at the end of the year. Then you put a marker on your whiteboard or a sticky label. It's going to get you there. Identify what your goals are. That will help you because many people say, I don't know what I want. Think about it. What is it you want? You want to buy a car in 5 years? Which car you want? Write it down. That will happen. Because if you don't have a goal, you're not going to get it. So you want to buy a car? Put it down. And I can tell you that you will get that car. You may not get it in 5 years, but you'll get it in 6 years. But you've got to define what you want. That's a goal. And when you get there, that's a success. There's one thing very important that you guys need to do. If you are in training, how much time do you have? 5 minutes. No, I need a little longer. I can take a little longer. Okay. I'm going to talk about something very important. The importance is that I am saying that you need to be very generous. And by generosity, I don't mean in money. By generosity, I mean you need to be very generous as a person. So if you are in a team, you need to impart your knowledge in a very generous way and share your knowledge with your colleagues or with your workers. Expand your knowledge and be very generous in what you do. Don't feel that if I teach that person, he is going to take my job. That never happens. Because you are going to stay ahead of the curve. So if you teach someone ABC, you want to DEF. By the time he will go to F, you want to K, G. So you're always ahead of the curve. And I remember I was telling Mr. Sigupta that when I got my contract with Reliance, and Tata Motors to do the SAP implementation in Bombay 20 years ago. Reliance came to us and said that, listen, we are Reliance and we'll do reverse engineering, you bring your consultants and we'll understand from them kaise hota hai, and then after 6 months we'll throw them away and we'll learn everything we've learned and we want to run with the cart ourselves. So I said, how's it going to happen? They said, no, because we learned everything. We understood everything. I said, okay. They did it after 6 months. They could not do it because after 6 months of the new release on SAP. So to implement the release, they employed us for another 6 months. After 6 months, there was yet another release. They went from 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. We hung around for 4 years. For 4 years, they could not get rid of us because we were always ahead of the curve. So if you have the knowledge and the capability, you are going to be training yourself. Keep training yourself. And as a result, no one can keep you out. And if you believe I have had consultants who work for me and they wanted to retain the knowledge in their head because they thought that I'll be indispensable in the company. No one can throw me out. But guess what? Once the time comes, they'll be the first person to be thrown out. So do not hang on to your knowledge. Be generous with your time, with your knowledge. Spread it. And the more you spread, the more you're going to get back. Lastly, I will say that Mr. Sadhguru has said, I'm going to close in a few minutes, has said that routinely we people use less than 1% of our brains. That's what he said. And he says that in order to be above your intelligence, if you start cultivating a mind to use 4 to 5% of your brains, you are going to become super intelligent and you're going to be above your buddhi. And you're going to become buddha because you're using more than what average person uses. And the way to do that is again through, as I said, through being mindful, through being aware and being more, having clarity in your head. Nothing more than that. Just be observing what is going on a day-to-day basis. So if you observe, then you can do things better because you're fully aware of what is happening. And he also said that if your intelligence level falls below your intelligence, below your conscious levels, and comes down to less than 1 and less than 0.5, you are going down below your buddhi, your buddhi. So don't do that. Rise above. Go for the excellent. And you will achieve that. Finally, there's something called the power of suggestion in anything you do. And a power of suggestion is, I will tell you an interview. You guys are going for interviews very soon, hopefully. And I'll tell you what I did in my interview. With the belief that everyone wants to hear what they want to know. No matter who the manager is, from a CEO of a large company to a junior guy, everyone wants to hear the same word they want to hear. So I had come back from Iran, and my aunt, who I was staying with in Delhi, came and told me that, you better go for this interview. I'm going to arrange an interview with Duncan Brothers. Duncan Brothers who had tea gardens in Calcutta, and because in those years, before I went to Iran, I wanted to go to tea planter. So I said, arrange. So a meeting is arranged with the executive vice president of Duncan Brothers, and I go in there and courtesy my aunt, and I go in there and I sit down. So he's saying, tell me about yourself and normal routine. So I said, well, I've just come back from Iran. So here's what do we do there? I'm in a shipping company. What kind of shipping company? Containerized shipping company. What's a container? So I said, container is a box. They pack everything into a container and then they pick it up and put it into a ship, and when the ship arrives the other side, they pick it up and put it into a truck and they will deliver it to the customer. So he said, really? This is that? I said, yeah. You can take your tea boxes, but tea is packed in wooden cartons, plywood cartons, and you can pack so many boxes into a pallet and put the pallet onto the container, and container goes onto the ship. So he's looking at me as if I've come from Mars. So he said, where did you learn all this? I said, I learned it in Iran. So he said, really? How long were you there? Now, what happened was that I started controlling the interview. Every answer I gave was the next question. So there was no question asked by him. I controlled that interview from the moment I almost walked in. And half an hour later, he tells me, no, very nice talking to you. Go away. So I went away. And 3 days later, my aunt comes and says that we got the result of the interview. So I said, what happened? Did I get the job? He says, no. I said, why? Did I flunk? He says, no. I said, what happened? I didn't flunk. I didn't get the job. So he said, well, the thing is that you did so well in the interview that he thought that something's wrong. So he decided to interview 4 other people. And that took him 4 days. So the next 4 people were here and you were here. So there was such a big gap that he thought that you were not going to be suitable for a candidate to work in the tea garden. But tea garden is ज़्यादा काम नहीं है. You drink too much. So, but the point of what I'm trying to say is that it's the power of suggestion. Both things start with power of suggestion. So here's my tip for an interview. You walk into an interview. Typically you could be in this environment. Let me give you an environment that you've been sitting in an interview room for the last 5 hours. And the 30 people who are ahead of you. It's now 5 o'clock in the evening. You are the second last person to be called. When you're sitting there with your tie, fidgeting, wondering what the hell am I doing here? Why am I not being called? And the interview panel is now fidgeting. They've already made up the mind that they want to employ this person or that person. And they're just doing this for routine to get you out because they have to interview you. So they called you. And so here's my tip. You go and sit down in a chair. And before the interview panel opens their mouth, you tell them, may I ask a question? So they'll say, of course. What's your question? But they'll be wondering, what the hell is the guy asking? So you ask him, sir or madam, whoever the head of the interview panel is, I just have one question. Could you please tell me what point in my CV attracted you to call me? Why do you think that I will be a use, an asset to your organization? Now, let me tell you this. There's 90% chance there's not even read your CV. Someone else has read it. They are the interview panel. Someone else has read it, they have not read your CV. Now, by putting that power of suggestion into their head, they have to read your CV before they answer. So they'll say, give us a minute. So in that minute, they're going to scan your CV. All of them. 3 people, 4 people, 1 person, whoever it is. They're going to scan your CV. Now you have forced them to read your CV. And they're searching for this point that attracted. What was that point in your CV that attracted them? Was it your bits pilani? Was it your engineering degree? Was it your economics? What is it? Your entrepreneurship? What is it? That search in their own mind is going to do wonders in you. You might even get the job. But you've got to have the ability to be confident and say, sir, I need to know this. Don't just sit there with your mouth shut. Because there are 90% chances in the world of the mind, it's only 5:30 in the evening, 4:45, that's it. I need to go home. But the moment you ask him to think, and he has to give you a logical reason why he selected you and the CV, and now he is not. The moment they start talking to you, the job is done. I have always found that when I have gone and met senior management, people say that he is too busy, she's too busy. But the moment you walk into senior manager's office, they're very nice, they're very good to talk to, but they love talking to people. Most of the junior people don't come there. They'll give you a cup of tea and a cup of coffee also. But you go to people to converse. And if you've got nothing to converse, nothing good, sir, that's up to you. Be a one-to-one. Take that interview tip. I think it's going to be very good straight. And last point, which I believe is very important, is that do not multitask. Do not not multitask. Multitasking, people might have told you that is very effective and I'm very good and she is very good at multitasking and he is very good at multitasking. But everyone who multitasks comes a problem. Multitasking is not good. It's not good for the brain. The brain is not able to focus on parallel tracks. There have been umpteen empirical studies which says that multitasking is not good. Stanford has said multitasking is not good. Because what you do is when you're thinking about one thing, you stop thinking, your brain comes down. Then you're thinking about something and then your brain goes up. Then it stops. So when you stop and start, it's not good for anything. It is better put your phone off for 1 hour, complete the job and do the other job. With this mobile phone, this digital depravity that is started, it is not good. And multitasking is not good for anything. I'm not even talking about driving and doing an SMS. Forget that you should never do. I'm just talking of ordinary multitasking. You are getting inundated with digital data on your computer. Tons of digital data. And all different subjects. What happens is that you're not able to take anything. And you're always looking at your phones, you get anxious. The more anxious you get, the more whimsical you get. Then you go back home and you're flustered and you've not done any, you don't know what you've done and that will lead to depression or you want to become middle of the road. To become a success, to become an expert, do an expert's role which is study and or one critical job at a time. Be an expert in that. Do not multitask. The studies are very, very clear on this matter. So I would strongly, I don't know whether I think you should tell this in your class that you should multitask. Enjoy your life, you're only here for once. So your students, your boys and girls, you should enjoy your life, your kids, go for it. But I would also say, go for the Gallic few stars, go for the impossible, do it. And never say no and never take anything like that. Good on you. Okay. I don't know whether that was good, but
you have any questions?
Yeah, please ask me questions.
Yes.
So, like you have talked about how you have got opportunities by talking to people. So, my question to you is like, I just wanted to know how to approach a person and how to set up a conversation with them. Do you have any tips for me?
Well, it is just a question of being confident, your ability to carry yourself off, and not, and it can be frightening that when you go to someone who is very rich and very powerful and say that be it a minister or whoever and say that I can get the job done, but just I would go in a slightly offbeat, but start doing little few jobs. Start talking to your professors. Take that as a and then go and meet another professor who's got totally different stream, who's got nothing to do with economics, and go and talk to that guy. And because they're also human beings, they love to talk to you. Believe me. Go and talk to them and see whether you can strike a 1:1 with a professor, and then make it take it one level up. And go and talk to Mr. Raghuram, just go and talk, say, I want to have a chat with you. And they love to have a chat with you. And if you come out successful with them, then take it to the business. Next.
From other campuses, if there are any questions? I think we are done.
Yeah.
I hope this was useful. I hope you guys will embrace what I have said and keep it in mind and activate it. I hope it gets you thinking, because that is the primary objective, to get thinking. And once you get thinking about this, to convert that into thought. the tip about the interview you should take. But it doesn't start from there. That's almost the end. You should have the confidence and the ability to say that. Because if you say it in the wrong way, the camera says, oh, what are you saying? So, no, I want to know what it is. Why am I here? And you have every right to ask him. So, but I'll answer your question. By getting the confidence levels up, because by talking to your professors, you will get the confidence level up. It will take you one step higher than your friends. It will take you one step higher than your family. But they're strangers. They've got nothing to do with it. So, and I can assure you that if that is good and successful, meaning you are happy with that talk, it will give you tremendous amount of confidence. Because confidence is all what it's all about with that. Confidence is, I mean, Professor Cinematographer will teach you everything there is to teach, everything in theory. But in theory, when you go out of the classroom, you use 2%, maybe 1% in your data, in your latter part of the life, 1%. But what you're going to do and act to make your life successful now on is what makes the difference. And I'm hoping that what I have said is going to make a difference. The thought is the most important. Please bear that in mind. If you can think it, you can do it. So do not stop thinking. I would keep a pen, paper, pad, and whatever you think, just write it down. If you can think it, you can do it. Today, lovely meeting you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being here and inspiring us.